Welcome to Life Alive Bible Study, where the word comes alive and breathes new life. I'm your host, D. Foster 3. I am CEO and president of Wake Up Global Networks International. We are so glad to have you tonight. I'm going to cut through a lot of chase. This is Prophetic Interruptions Part 2. Don't ask me why. I explained it last week, but as long as the Spirit keeps giving me insight, prophetic direction to properly position us, I'm going to obey God. Life Alive Bible Study, we call it Bible study for a point of reference, but anything can happen spiritually on a Thursday night. While you're getting other people to like, subscribe, share. If you're new, put it in the context. Tell us where you are from. If you're not, we want you to do what you know to do, to like, to subscribe, to share, to follow. We're trying to grow Wake Up Global TV. It's the home of the Voice of Hope Connection. It's the home of the Voice Over Man podcast. It's the home of Life Alive Bible Study. And it's the home of everything that you need to grow spiritually and to be, of course, entertained. I want you to join our Patreon, the Lit Patreon. You can get a link to that. We have exclusive content on our Patreon. Will not be censored like some of our other material is. Even what I'm going to talk about tonight, I have to be very careful about where we're going tonight. That is www.wakeupglobalnetworks.com, www.wakeupglobalnetworks.com. Again, I want you to hit the like, hit the subscribe. I want you to know that you can know when we're downloading brand new content. If you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and thank you so much. Put a copy of this link in your contacts and let people know we are live right here, Life Alive Bible Study tonight. We're going to finish getting into some things. All right. Almost Labor Day. I'll talk more about that, but tonight my spirit is excited about getting into what we're getting into. If you missed last week, you've got to go and get last week. It was Prophetic Interruptions, part number 1. It's not meant to become a series. It's just, I'm on a series, right? The psychology of decision making, but the Spirit of God keeps prompting me prophetically to declare and announce where we are in this day and in this time, but more importantly, what we must do. This is a global shift, as I've been talking about, and I'll continue to talk about it tonight. Obviously, the Spirit of God is urgently, there's a clarion call saying, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? So tonight, Spirit, we are ready. Reverberate through me your will, your mind, your likeness to reach thousands. And yea, I would dare say hundreds of thousands, as we're on the precipice of one of the greatest resets that this planet has ever experienced. Thank you for bringing us into the kingdom for such a time like this. It's in Yeshua's name we say it is done. Tonight, I want to, again, this is welcome. Come on in, share, like, subscribe to the channel so that you know when we download brand new content. Go to our website, of course, and then go to our social media. On IG, it's Wake Up Global Media, Wake Up Global Media, and on X, it's WGNINC, WGNINC. And then you can simply follow me if you like on both. DJ Change 111, DJ Change 111. Tonight, I want to ask you a question. It's a real question. It's a real question. And that is, are you ready for this massive global reset that we are in? And I want you to think about that. It's not a rhetorical question. I don't have time for rhetoricalism at this moment. But it is a challenge to you and to every person that you will share this with. Because I'm not sure, I don't get it registered in my spirit that we really in this country have the clear picture of what's been taking place since 2020. Now, I'm going to read a passage out of Daniel. It may not make sense to you right now, but I need to put it out there because this is a prophetic word, right, for this time. And I want to read from Daniel chapter number 7, Daniel chapter number 7. And I want to pick up around verse number 24. I want you to hear this. I want you to hear it, not just listen to it. Because we're going to connect the time that we have some of the dots. Because we are in one of the most phenomenal, hear this, prophetically I'm speaking, but unstable times ever known to man. Now, every time I mention that, people say, well, we had this back in this day. We had that back in that day. And yeah, we had this and that back in that day, but not with the intensity. Because if you follow me, if you're a student of our master's class, you will understand I talk a lot. And if you staunch Christian, close your ears, and I'll give you the signal when you can open them back up. I talk a lot about energy. I talk a lot about the new energy that's coming in. And so, yes, we've had this and that in the past, but we've never had the influx of energy. And it has to do with a lot of the sun's rays coming in from the atmosphere. It has to do with, you can put it, you can tune back in. You can take your earmuffs off, Christian. You can take your earmuffs off. Okay. But we are in the greatest. And I would challenge anybody. And anybody that is sensitive to what Spirit is doing and saying would have to agree. The greatest, the precipice of the greatest reset. And it is as phenomenal because it is birthing something new. This is what I'm about to read. But it is one of the most unstable things. And you'll understand that. Not tonight as we move forward. Share this. Bring other people in. And I had to ask the Spirit, why do you keep having me to harp on this reset? Why do you keep having me prophetically to talk about this global shift? And he keeps saying, the Spirit keeps saying, because I want you to say it and say it and say it until the people get it. So when it happens at its crust, its midpoint, we're not at the midpoint yet. When it happens at the midpoint, that people won't go crazy, people won't lose their minds, people won't commit suicide, people won't off themselves. Got YouTube. People won't off themselves. Press like. This is why I got to do some stuff on people. People won't off themselves. People won't lose their minds. But it is going to demand that we ride out. It is going to demand this reset. I'm going to talk about resetting in just a few minutes. But I want to read something from Daniel 7:24, beginning. And again, it might not make sense to you right now, but hopefully, if not tonight, at some point, we will connect the dots. And the 10 horns out of this kingdom are 10 kings that shall arise. And another shall rise after them, and he shall be diverse from the first, and he shall subdue 3 kings, and he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints. Now, in my mind, where I am, when I hear saints, I don't hear church. I don't hear anything religious. I think we put all of that jargon together. But as I am studying for myself and reading, we've made an institution fit certain words. in the script, and the institution don't fit. Just being straight up in all of the words that we've connected the institution to in the script. Go back and replay. And shall wear out, verse 25, the saints of the Most High, and think, here it is, here it is, here it is, reset, here it is, here it is. And think to change times and laws. And they shall be given into his hand until a time and times and the dividing of times. Reset. Divine reset. Let me read that again. This is why I'm not using the word revolution, because revolution means we enact, we do something to bring the change. No. I'm not even using the word reformation, with all due respect. Reformation means I'm taking something, remaking it, reforming it, and applying it again. I'm not even dealing with reformation. Okay, no disrespect to any organization that has that word. I get where you're coming from. But the word reset is something totally different. Reset means another substance, has nothing to do with the former. It is not connected. See, reformation is connected to something in the past. Reset is not. Reset is a rethinking, a redoing, a recalibration, a recalculation. That's the prophetic word that I have tonight. Are you ready for the reset? Let me read this again. Daniel, I tell you, share this. Share. Yes, it's intense. Share this. Share it. Come on, invite somebody in. It says, verse 24. You can read the whole chapter when you get an opportunity. It says, and the 10 horns out of this kingdom are 10 kings that shall rise. 10 kings. And another shall rise after them, and he shall be diverse from the first. See, it's not a copy. It's not a remaking of the same thing. Make me over. No, something brand new. And he shall subdue 3 kings, verse 25. And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change, not reform. Come on, y'all, come on. Not revolt against, and think to change. Daniel 7:25 says, and think to change times. Reset. Times deals with society, deals with culture, deals with, let me say it again. Time deals with the society, it deals with the customs of that society, and it deals with that society's culture. If you want to break that word down, time. And to think to change claims and laws, not reform them, not reform. Reformation has its place. I'm talking about reset, which is totally, and see, here's what we've done. We've put words, language is everything. It's expressive, it's definitive. And what we've done is we've used words interchangeably. Reformation, revolution, reset. No. Keep those over there. Keep revolution over there, because that's us enacting. That's us initiating change. That's not what this is talking about. There's reformation, taking the whole, bringing it off a line, like you do a website, redefining it, redeveloping it, perfecting it, and then uploading it again. Reformation, same concept. I'm not talking about neither of those. I'm talking about we are in a time of, here it is, right here. Laws, To think, to change times. Times deal with society. Times deal with the way culture operates. Times deal with the way society functions. Time deals with the way society defines society. Times deals with the way the culture defines the culture, says what's acceptable in the culture, what's not acceptable in the culture, what's a taboo in the culture. And a lot of things that have been taboo in the culture are becoming acceptable. Why? Because there is a energy that is redefining time. There's Chronos and Kairos. I won't get into that. Not this time. And not Chronos. Not Kairos either. The times that we live in. And it is the laws. All of this equals reset. Now, and they shall be given into his hand until a time and times and the dividing of time. That's the key word tonight. Reset. Reset. 2020. And for the algorithms, I won't get into what happened in 2020. We on this planet, because what I'm prophesying is not local. It is not national. It is global. We began, if you want to go back in date, or there begun to be a global reset, a pen-sized reset. Because when you talk about reset, you talk about redefinition, redefining, reclassifying. Let me give you a good example. Unplugging from the old, unplugging from what used to be, and not finding another socket to plug into, but rewiring it a whole total different way. Hope that makes sense to you. Yeah, this 2020 began one of the greatest resets, again, that this planet has ever seen. Now, when we were going through those experiences, people would say, there's been other, and again, because of the algorithms, I'm very careful, but if you know, you know, there have been other incidences like this, and they went back to the 40s. Yes, they were. And they went back to the 1900s. Yes, they were. And they even went back to the 1800s. Yes, they were. But again, there were several factors present in 2020 that was not present in those past similar events. Number one, we did not have global communication. Number two, very few of those experiences affected the whole entire planet like this did. And number three, the restrictions globally. I know there were other restrictions during some of those other events, but the restrictions globally restricted for the most part, the whole entire globe. Thus began the launch of one of the greatest global research resets that ever existed. Now, up until then, and I'm sure many others had, and speak for many others, I had been talking about welcome to the new world, welcome to new age, before this even happened. 2 to 3 years ago, there's a new world, there's a new age. I had no idea it was going to be so significant. I had no idea it was going to be in some way so severe, so impactful. But what I knew in my spirit is what I know now, that this world, I don't mean terra firma, as some people say, system, as we talked about last week, leave the world behind. The system was coming to an end. As a matter of fact, I would use St. Matthew chapter number 28, when Jesus says, and lo, I'll be with you to the end of the world, the end of the age, the end, not of the cosmos, the end of this stage. And I could go, when I put my thing up like this, that means if you staunch in my song, because I'm going to say some things that staunch Christianity might not receive. I knew we were coming to the end of the Piscean age, and we were going into the Aquarian age, and it would look very different. And so I had been speaking and prophesying that we were going up to 2020, coming to the end of an age. That's a good signal, right? Because everybody is welcome on this platform, but everybody can't always receive what we give on this platform. But you're welcome. So I'll give you a signal when I believe I'm about to say something cross your spiritual belief system. Like this. And I knew that the age, for several reasons, it was written in the heavens. It was in my spirit. The age was ending, and there was going to be a new age birth. Now, let me say this. That new age has not fully come to birth yet. It's being birthed. This is why all the confusion, this is why all of the chaos globally, this is why all of the wars, and I'll get into that. This is why all of the shortage apparent shortages. This is why all the conflict. Because while something is being reset, something is being redefined, there's a gap, there's a void, there's an in-between period. And I've talked about this exclusively. There is a deconstruction taking place. And the deconstruction, hear this prophetically, takes longer than the reconstruction. That's the opposite in the natural. You can tear a kitchen out in a day, but you can't remodel it in a day. In the spirit, the deconstruction takes longer than the reconstruction. That's why a nation, come on, y'all ready? Will be born in a day. And now is the period when we understand prophetically, which I'm going to address maybe not tonight, what areas are being reset, that we prepare for those areas, because I'm telling you, they're going to be so drastically different than the way things are now. And if you think things have changed since 2020, you ain't seen nothing yet. If you think Copilot is something, you ain't seen nothing yet. If you think Chat GPT is something, you ain't seen nothing yet. If you think Chat AGPT is something, you ain't seen nothing. That is even the tip of the iceberg. Now, I'm just talking about one area. I mentioned some things last week and just move it. And the first area that we prepare for this global shift in our psyche or our consciousness. I'm going to say some things now. That's why it's key to work on rewiring your conscious. That's why that's key. Share this. Share it with conscious people also. Share it with everybody. I got to close. I don't like these being too long. 2020, something happened in the world that caused every major system on the planet to rethink how it was doing things for the purpose of survival. The problem was once things start letting up, we did not continue to think the reset through. And like I mentioned last week with Leave the World Behind, there was a segment of the family who went into the vacation home, who the whole movie, they were waiting for things to go back to normal. And that's the way the majority of the populace, instead of prophetically reading the signs of the time, most people held their breath, kept their eyes glued to the news to see when we could go back for normal. And that is not why that time existed. That time existed so that we could come together energetically, consciously, and create this reset that would birth a new world system. I'm going to say it, order into being. And we missed it. So we're behind. And if you think every area of the life at that time, 2020, 2021 was slowly resetting. And then all of a sudden, the reset slammed on brakes for most. Not all of us. Not all systems. For most. And I'm going to give you a small one. Up until that time, when I went to the gym, we had a tag. You scan your tag. After 2020, you got to download the app. You got to download the app. You got to apply online. And these are just minor. These are not even talking about the major resets that affect the globe. Still got to download your app. Because now we're in an age of technology. And even as the North Node moves into Aquarius, out of Pisces, we're in a revival of technology, rivaling, oh, y'all not ready, spirituality. So the best thing we can do is integrate. I'll get to that. I got to shut this down, y'all. Share this, like it. For those of you watching the replay, watch it over and over again. I'm talking about, are you ready for the reset? This is titled Prophetic Interruptions Part 2, the second week. Spirit has interrupted our series. Spirit did. We just Yes. 2020, everybody began to think how we would want things because we had to make adjustments. We had to make them quick. There was no time to think. And I feel on a global scale, we were making progress for at least the first year. I started seeing systems reform and reset. Some were being reformed, which is better than nothing. Some were being reset. But there came a point in time when global relief was declared. And I heard in the spirit, literally, the spirit of reformation and the spirit of reset slam on brakes. Because like that couple and leave the world behind, we can exhale and go back to normal. And understanding prophetically that normal had been reset. Only those who have ears to hear will understand. The Spirit is speaking to me. So 6 to 7 years in, after trying to go back to normal, but energy, and for some of you, the momentum is gone. More minds are open. I mean, I look at certain things and it never returned. I mean, let's be honest. I look at certain services that were filled to the gill, and I'm like, wow, how do they afford to stay there? That, that's how things have fallen off. Unless they're getting buku money online, which they may do. But you still have a building's overhead. I'll never forget at the heat of that 2020 at Prophet John Lewis on my radio show. And I said, Prophet, speak to what's going on. And he simply said, and it was very hilarious the way he said it, but it was prophetic. The church left the building. And we talked about that. And we talked about why that was initiated and how it was prophetic. I want to close on this. This reset, we are about to apex, about to be in the middle. Like, say 2020 was 12 o'clock. We're about 12:15. I'm giving you a 12:30, 12:30, 12:30, halfway. It won't be like the 2020 opportunity to reset. This is going, according to Daniel, be forced upon us through the redefinition, and it's already happening on small levels of changing of the laws. You're not going to bind and loose that. It's prophesied. And the changing of times, the redefining of times, of every institution on the planet, of the monetary institution, the financial institution, the educational institution, already happened massively in the spiritual institution. And unlike 2020, when we had the opportunity and the flexibility to reset, this reset will be forced upon us, according to Daniel and other things that I'll get into. And if you have not set yourself consciously, energetically, and most importantly, spiritually, to know, understand, and accept what is coming, I don't know what to say. Because it is. It's like a roaring wave. You see it out on the distance. It's kind of like that boat. Go back to leave the world behind. Who crashed into the sea. You saw it coming. And the closer it got, the faster, and people were just standing around looking. Instead of moving out the way, instead of they just standing around looking. And the closer it got, prophetically, here's what's going to happen. The faster the reset is going to come. The closer it is, so as it goes to 1:45, it's going to get faster. Between 1:45 and 1:00, the year has been marked to 2030. 2020 to 2030, the decade of the global reset. Now, we're already more than halfway through that. All right, Spirit, I'm going to stop here like this. And yet, we've made little progress since 2021, maybe 2022, maybe hoping that what is inevitable won't happen. But this is on the divine timetable. It is happening. And I'm going to give you small ways at first, before I give you major ways. Green spaces are part of the reset. And I'm not going into all the definitions right now. I'll get into it. I just want to show you I'm not shooting the air. Bike lanes in all the major cities are part of the reset. Those are just small areas. They're much bigger areas, but those are the areas we can handle right now. And they're added gradually and gradually. Genderless restaurants are part of the reset. I'll close with this. Like this, share this. You don't want to miss next week. He, she, they that have ears to hear and eyes to see, let them prophetically hear and let them prophetically see. I haven't even started talking about what's coming in the job market. But there's a plan for that. There's a reset. Oh, yeah. Well, people are going to be unemployed and they won't survive. They will. They'll be taken care of. It's a reset. Now, I'm not saying it all glorifies God, but it's in the plan. And out of that shall come, as we swim down, he shall subdue. But first, we have to go through this reset. And then the king shall subdue. Thank you. True. Eyes of our understanding being enlightened, that we may know the hope of our God. Thank you. If you want to sow a seed, the information is on the bottom of the screen. I'm not begging. I'm not coercing. All I'm saying is, if we're good ground, I'm not a salesman. All I know how to do is wiggle ground. I encourage you to sow seed. PayPal or Zelle, and that information is at the bottom of the screen. I want you to have a good night. Please like, please subscribe. If you're watching the replay, please share this. Put a copy of this in your contacts. Are you ready? Not for the revolution. Are you ready for the reset? This is Default to 3. Next week. Don't miss next week. Saying peace and stay woke.